we've got pleco babies again. This time, I think I'm just gonna leave them in there and do their thing, though. I'm not gonna bother them. They just hatched maybe this morning, maybe late last night, because they were eggs yesterday, so I'm just gonna let them do their thing. Oh, there's one of the babies from the old batch. But, yep, I'm just gonna let them do their thing and let them come out of the cave in a couple days. I'm not gonna take them out and put them in a breeder box this time. Now for the real topic of this video, here in our 60-gallon aquarium, we have baby Java ferns. Yay! No, that's not really the reason for the video. The real reason for the video is typically my angels lay eggs on this leaf here. At least they did the last 2 times. I want them to, be good, responsible parents, so I left the eggs in there. I didn't touch them, and unfortunately, because they are new parents, they don't know how to take care of their young yet. Usually takes 4, 6, maybe 8 times of laying eggs before they finally figure it out and figure out how to not only keep the fungus off the eggs, but also raise the wrigglers and let them become free swimming. So, because I'm rather a little impatient, they laid eggs on this leaf here. And I am tempted to take that leaf out and artificially raise these eggs. Well, I shouldn't say artificially, but raise these eggs on my own instead of letting the parents do their thing. So while I'm raising these eggs, the very next time they lay eggs, usually in a week or 2, I will let them take care of that batch and continue being parents while I raise these ones. So how I'm gonna do this is using the same exact tank water I set up our breeder box. I figure this breeder box will be plenty big for the time being, at least just for the purpose of hatching these eggs. So I'm gonna take that Java fern off, that leaf, and I'm gonna put it in the breeder box, and in about 2 or 3 days they should hatch and they should become wrigglers. And then after that they'll be wrigglers for 2, 3, 4 days or so, and then they should be free swimming. And once they get to the size where they can free swim, this breeder box is not gonna be big enough because that's probably about 100 to 200 eggs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up this big thing, and I'm gonna put it next to our Pandacory incubation set, probably about right here. This is about 2 gallons, 2.5 gallons or so. So that should be plenty big for the baby fry, because we don't wanna put them in anything too much larger than this, because they're gonna run into the same issues that our plecos did, where if you put them in too big of an environment, they're gonna be taking way too much energy out of themselves to swim around, look for food. It's just a recipe for disaster. So with really, really, really young fry, you wanna keep them in a very small environment, and then after a couple weeks, expand it after they keep growing. So that's exactly what we're doing with the Pandacories. If you remember, we put them in these little tubs while they're just a few days old. And then after they're a few weeks old, we move them into our 20-gallon once they're able to, have more energy and explore the environment. That's the same idea with these angelfish. So let's go ahead and move them into this breeder box, and in a couple days, we'll see them wrigglers. A couple days after that, they'll be free swimming, and depending on how they look in this little breeder box and how many eggs we actually have, will determine if we keep them in here for a few more days after that, or move them into this tub over here, which I'm gonna set up a little bit later. But in addition to this breeder box, the water has to continue to cycle. So if you remember, water gets pumped up from the tank into the box, and then once the box overfills, it gets drained out on this side over here. And I put a little sponge here so that way none of the little babies can get out. It also has a little gate, if it can focus, that I think the babies are gonna be a little smaller than the gaps in that gate, so I just put the little sponge on just in case as a little extra barrier of protection for the babies. So yeah, let's go ahead and remove that leaf. Unfortunately, they're watching it and it's gonna be devastating, but oh well. I wanna actually see some angelfish babies. All right, let's see if I can get in there and extract those eggs. I'm gonna be using some long clippers, and yeah, see if I can get in there and not block the camera too much. Here we go. right. So, we got the fern that had the eggs on it. I'm just gonna leave it in here. I might even put an air stone in here because I don't think that drip is gonna be enough to move the water around. So, yeah, I might even put an air stone in here. So that took a little while, but we got our Java fern with eggs on it fastened with this little chip clip here. And then I might have to keep playing with the position of this air hose. It's being a pain in the butt, but I also have it fastened with a chip clip here too. And I have it pinched off so that way it's not too powerful. But essentially I want the current, and it's not at the moment, but I want it to go right up and down the eggs in order to keep them aerated and keep the fungus off. So I think this is a pretty decent setup for now, but I gotta fix this air hose real fast, and yeah, we'll see what the fry look like in a couple days.